Now, live from KUSI, this is Good Business San Diego. Sponsored by Wilsey Asset Management.
Hi, I'm Roy Robertson. Welcome to Good Business San Diego, where we're talking about the topics that are important to you, your home, your family, your health, and your money. And the following portion of Good Business San Diego is sponsored by Wilsey Asset Management. Brent Wilsey, the president of Wilsey Asset Management, joins us again today. So as you're making travel plans for the summer, one thing you may be contemplating is purchasing travel insurance. Is it a worthwhile investment to buy that trip protection? Brent is here with some advice, and you're getting ready for a trip, so I know you're looking into this.
Getting ready. That's what I thought about. Like, gee, this is almost April. People thinking about traveling. Should they get travel insurance? That can come up. So I want to kind of cover the pros and cons to that. And first off, what is the cost of travel insurance? And your travel agent may bring this up. The cost is about 4 to maybe 10% of the trip over the overall trip. So if you're going to spend $10,000, you'll look between $400 to $1,000.
So not cheap.
No, not cheap, and that's why I want to go over some things in a minute here about what it covers. Because the other thing I want people to know, I always say if someone's selling you a product, selling you a service, understand how much they're making off of this, because that could sway your decision. Right. And generally, travel agents make somewhere between 5 and 10% off of the premium that you pay for your travel insurance. And don't ever hesitate to ask somebody, well, what are you making off of this? I mean, I think it's worthwhile when they're selling you a product or a service. Also, too, I want to talk about what affects the cost of insurance, because it's not the same straight aboard. One thing that affects it is your age. So you and I kind of get penalized for being older. We'll pay more than the younger guy.
You more than me.
Well, yeah, I'm a little bit older. Yeah, through. Also, too, the destination. Where are you going? I mean, I'll see if you're going to go to a place like England or something pretty safe versus going to Africa, you're probably going to pay more because it's a riskier place going to Africa. It's a bigger trip. And then also, to the time. How long are you going to be there? I mean, if you're going to go for a 1-week trip, it's going to be less than if you went to a 1-month trip in England or whatever. So it's the age, the destination, and the duration of your trip is what really sets that insurance premium.
Okay, so if we decide to get travel insurance, you and I together, at our age, what are we covered for? What are we paying for?
This is the thing. There's about 7 different things. I'll try to cover most of the points here. First off, they cover trip cancellation. And I want to warn people, that doesn't mean that, okay, I'm covered. I got too much work to do. I'm not going to go. No, you're not covered for that. You've got to read the fine print on the contract, because generally what it covers is it'll cover an illness. And again, you want to see what kind of illness it is, injury, family, emergency. So you got to understand what these are, because you may think you're covered when you're really not. So like any contract, make sure you read the fine print. Also covers a misconnection. And this is one that, if you miss a connection, they're going to cover you. But I'm just, when I say cover you, what they're looking at is the cost of maybe booking a new route or something. But I always say, well, generally, when you miss a connection, the airlines take care of you. I've never had an airline saying, sorry, you're stuck here, you got to pay for something else. Right. They will generally cover you. Sure. Also, to a trip delay. So you might miss, something, you missed the trip or whatever. Okay, well, they'll pay for the meals. They'll pay for that. Again, I've not had that issue. The big one I want to talk about is emergency medical, because this is one that really scares me. Like, oh my gosh, if I'm in Europe and I fall, get hurt, I'm not going to be taken care of. Read and understand what your health insurance covers, because many times it will cover you in Europe and foreign locations. So understand what that is, because that may not be worthwhile. And then the baggage loss is another one that to me doesn't make much sense, because your baggage is lost, but I've never had anything to where like they didn't get it. And actually the baggage loss percentage, very low. I think it's about 7 in 1,000 have a mishap, not a loss.
And pack your cheap stuff when you travel.
Pack your cheap stuff, exactly. Good point
don't worry about it that way. Thanks, Brent. You find Brent online at smartinvesting2000.com. The preceding portion of Good Business San Diego, sponsored by Wilsey Asset Management. We'll be right back.